maybe.
This was all you're doing, right? Make sure there are a bunch of fives.
Right, yeah. Actually, I was the one hanging them out.
Nick, what do you think of all this pomp and circumstance for this number 5 guy who used to be here for a while?
You know, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. It'll be very exciting, I think very emotional too. But, you know, nothing I really didn't even cross my mind or imagine when I first came here over 20 years ago.
Does it say something that you're in special company with the rest of the guys who are up there now?
It sure does. When I've been looking up at the rafters for a long time and seeing those names, and it's a little surreal that my name is going to be going up there too. And it's a tremendous honor to have my name up there as well.
You said it might be a little emotional. What will stir the emotions? Because you've retired from here. That was emotional too. But what would re-stir the emotions?
I think just a lot of memories coming back. I'm sure they'll have a video or two up there and seeing some of my former teammates and just everything, you know, surrounding the ceremony and everything. So I think that's why it'll be very emotional.
You said you didn't expect this when you first came here. Anyone that's played with you, we talked to guys today, said they knew the moment they saw you lace them up that this day would come. Why didn't you believe that would ever happen?
No, it just seemed so much bigger than I could imagine. I thought it was legends being up there. You know, looking at the Gordie Howe, Ted Lindsay, Terry Sawchuk, and go down the line. Stevie's up there. It's just such a tremendous honor to have my jersey up there as well.
Nick, where does this rank? I mean, you've won cups. I mean, but now to have something like this, I mean, is this bigger?
It's, you know, something different in a way. It's something about being a Red Wing. But when you're being a Red Wing and you get your jersey retired, you know, that's something very special.
What's it going to be like having your entire family here for this night?
Very exciting. Very exciting to have my wife and my kids, but my parents, my in-laws, and you know, they've been through the journey as well. They've been here from my first season to my last season and watched me play for all these years, and they get a chance to be here for this ceremony as well, which means a lot to me that they can be here and watch it.
You got to give a speech. Have you written it down? What would you? Is it going to be different than your retirement speech, or?
I have something written down. I'm going to talk about the memories and what I've been through here over the last 20 years and what I've experienced. And you know, some of my former teammates will be on the ice, so I try to cover as much as I can. I don't have all night on me. I know there's a game being played, but I got to try to cover as much as I can.
Now, you live in Sweden full time now?
Yes.
Did you sell your house and everything here? Is it all wrapped up?
Yeah, we sold our house, and anytime we come back here, I've stayed at Homer's house for.
Oh, really?
Been in his basement for a few different occasions. So yeah, we sold the house, and you know, we didn't keep anything here.
What's he got down there? Pinball, ping pong.
He's got a shuffleboard table down
Does
there, and a ping pong table.
Does he?
Will you drive him to the rink tomorrow? Will you come with her?
You know what? I'm staying downtown, so we're
Okay.
not driving together down to the rink tomorrow.
I'm sure it's been asked, like, when you retired and a couple years after, but do you miss it? I know it was the right time for you to retire, but I'm sure you do miss it as a playoff stretch. And
I still miss it. I still miss coming in here and, you know, getting ready for a game or walking out onto the ice in front of 20,000 people. I miss the times when, you know, something that you guys don't see every day, that you're in here with the guys, you're traveling with the guys, you're out there for practices, and there's no one really in the building. So I miss those times as well as the, you know, the game situations when, whether you're up a goal or down a goal, you're battling and you know, you're really fighting to win a game. I miss those moments as well.
What don't you miss?
Hockey? Do you watch much hockey at all? Or?
I watch, yeah. I have 4 boys that are all playing hockey, so I'm watching a lot of hockey, and I see some of the pro teams in Sweden play as well. I watch some junior teams too. So my life is still got a lot of hockey involved in it.
Athletes always talk about how they'll reflect on their accomplishments when it's over. Well, it's been over for you for a while now. What have you reflected on in that time?
I think that the part that sticks out the most are the Stanley Cups. You know, we went to 6 Stanley Cup finals, and we won 4 Stanley Cups. And I think that those are the ones that stick out the most. Just all the memories from some of the game situations when you're late in the winning game to win the Stanley Cup, or right after. The parades that we had here through downtown Detroit. All those memories are still very strong to me.
You've always seemed at peace with your decision. Have you even had any even brief, momentary pangs of regret at any point?
No regrets. But that doesn't mean I don't miss it. I still miss it. I still miss playing, but I never had any urge to get back to being on the ice and playing, in a game like with the games like this. But I do miss it still.
What don't you miss it?
Probably all the travel that we did, all the long trips. Well, now the team is in the Eastern Conference, which happens after I retired, so it makes it easier on the boys. But it takes its toll on you when you're doing a lot of traveling and a lot of hours on an airplane. So I don't miss that part.
You guys maybe never had a season, when you were playing like the one that they're going through now. Is it tough to watch them kind of, go through some of these ups and downs and struggles at this point? Yeah,
it's not that I'm watching, I'm here watching all the games. I'm watching from a distance, but it's still hard to follow the team, especially with all the injuries that they've had and still have. And they're still, you can tell. I watched the game the other night. They're still battling. They're doing whatever they can to win games and get the points. But it's hard. It's hard when you have so many bodies out. But I still think that some of the younger guys will get a chance to play more, and they've really taken advantage of the opportunity to do the best with the opportunity. So I'm hoping that this team can hang in there for the last few weeks here before the playoff starts and get into the playoffs.
Who's your favorite young player to watch on this team?
Tatar is exciting to watch. I think he's got great speed, he's got great hands, and he's shifty, and he scored some real nice goals too that I've seen. So he's a guy that's been fun to watch. Same thing with Jerko too. When actually both of them came in, got a chance to play, and I thought they grabbed that opportunity, and I think that's why they're here and playing so well.
Injuries have hit the team the past few years, really, since you've been gone. Kenny ever call, ask you to come back?
I've talked to Kenny a few times, and I think I've been taking it more of a half joke than being serious. He might have been serious, but
when do those calls come?
Anytime I'm stopping by here, coming through town, or on a couple occasions when he talked over the phone, and I think he's just more jokingly said some of those things, but I never had the urge to really come out of retirement.
Could you see yourself coming back to the NHL in any capacity with the team?
Maybe down the road. Maybe, yeah, after being home for a few years, living in Sweden for a few years, you might get the urge back to be involved in the NHL on a closer level than what I'm doing right now. So it could happen in the future. You never know.
Is there anything you do now that you're retired that you couldn't do, like, I don't know, sleep till noon and then eat five cheeseburgers or whatever? Is there any indulgence that you do now that you...
I think what's been the so relaxing about it is that I get weekends off. I never had any weekends off, and I can't even remember since I was a teenager. So I'm really, it's been nice with the weekends to watch the kids play hockey, and even going on trips in October, November, taking the family for a week-long trip, and the kids got a break from school. Just things like that where you weren't able to do that because you know your schedule, so it was so tight, and you had that routine where you couldn't really travel or do anything during the hockey year.
You have weekdays off too, though, right?
I have that as well. Yeah,
every.
It's and that's sometimes I do miss the routine as well, even though I've done it for so many years that you miss the schedule you were on, even though it's hard at times and it's very demanding on you. And now sometimes I still miss that routine.
And Nick, I don't know if you've ever been asked this or not, but since your career is over, did you ever get annoyed or wonder why people added the N to your last name? Did you ever just want to say, can't you pronounce it? Can't you spell it?
You know what? That happened in Sweden too. So it's not only here, but in Sweden as well that's happened. So it's just part of my name sometimes.
Will the
Nick, there is
jersey
a-
going up feel like the finality of it for you, do you think, of your career?
Yeah, in a way. You know, the my press conference when I retired was one part of it. I think this is more definite, that the jersey's going up in the rafters, and it's more of a definite ending than my press conference when I retired.
And is that, where does that stand on your list of accomplishments, the jersey up in the rafters?
It's probably right up there with the Stanley Cups, but it's kind of on a different level because you're always playing with your teammates. You're always winning or losing as a team. You do something, accomplish something as a team, and this is, you know, something a little bit different. But it's still a tremendous honor that you know, I'm being honored like this tomorrow night.
When you were playing, how often did you take a look up at the rafters up there at the jerseys that are already up there?
Almost every time we practiced. Yeah, almost every time we practiced, because we were always start a practice, whether you're stretching on the ice or, you know, you can always, you looked at the Stanley Cup banners and you looked at the numbers that were retired.
What would go through your mind?
Looking at the years that they played, looking at Gordy from the 40s to up to the early 70s, I believe, just amazed by all the years that those guys played.
Slacker.
How nice has it been to be reunited with Kevin? Because I know he was over there without you guys for a while.
Yeah, no, it's been real nice. You know, my oldest son Kevin moved home for our last 2 years when we were living here, so it's been great to have him in the house again and being close to him and being able to watch him play games.
How often can you watch a Wings game? I don't know, time change and everything else. Can you watch it?
Yeah, actually most of the games are on live, so but I
Oh.
won't get up at 1:30 in the middle of the night to watch games. But I watched the next morning, or I watch highlights, and the kids want to watch all the highlights from the NHL the next morning at breakfast before they head off to school. So we're always watching the highlights from NHL on the fly.
So the
Are you-
games start at 1:30 Sweden time, basically a 7:30 game or whatever.
Right, and I love the afternoon games because they're on at night in Sweden, so I
Right,
can
right.
watch them live. But I try to catch as many games as I can.
How often do people at home recognize you when you're grocery shopping or whatever? Yeah.
It happens quite often that people would recognize me. They don't ask for as many autographs as people do here, but it happens that people know me over there too.
Nick, what do you remember about your first training camp? And when you first came to the Detroit Red Wings, did you ever anticipate this type of moment, or did you know you were going to have a good career?
No, I signed, I believe I signed a 3-year contract when I first came here, and I played in Canada Cup in the fall of '91 before I came to training camp, so I had the chance to play against, Gretzky and the best Canadian players, best U.S., best Russian players, so I figured if I can play against these guys, I should be able to play in the NHL, but I still wasn't sure until I got here and had a chance to practice with the guys and skate with the guys, so it was still very nervous to come in here for the first time for my first training camp, but I felt at ease after going through training camp and getting ready for that regular season. I felt that I could play. I thought I could keep up with all the guys, and I felt that I belonged here.
Out of all the guys that you've defended against, if you had to name the top 3, who would they be?
That's hard. Because usually I was playing against the top lines all the time, so I was facing the tough players all the time. But Jaromir Jagr was on that, would be on that list because he was, so strong on his stick. He was very shifty. He's a big guy, big body, so he was hard to defend against. Mario Lemieux was another guy that he didn't seem that he was that fast on the ice, but he still had good speed, and for such a big guy, he had unbelievable hands. And third one would probably be Gretzky in my early years when we played against Gretzky and having watched him play for so many years when I was a kid. He was a challenge to play against too.
You played against David Legwand for many years, and now it appears he's going to be a Red Wing. What do you think of what he can add to this team?
I think the experience. I think it helps that he's from here. I'm sure he's very excited to be coming to his hometown. He He's a strong skater. I think he's good on both ends of the ice. And, you know, whether it's on the power play or taking key face-offs, I think he can help this team.
Mike Babcock talked about how this program now is very different than when you first joined the team, you know, over 2 decades ago. When you look back and see what you and your teammates accomplished, how much pride do you take in what you guys built?
I think all of us that's been here for a long time take a lot of pride in how hard we worked, how dedicated we were. And I think when I came in, I was looking up to players like Steve Eisman, Brad McCrimmon, guys that's been in the league for a long time. And I think Stevie set the standard for all of us coming in here. And that's something I tried to follow when I became captain. And because I seen Sederberg and Datsuk how hard they work. And when you have your best players work hard, I think your teammates will follow. And I think that's what you see from Sederberg now when he's the captain.
Do you appreciate how good you guys had it with that roster when you see how hard it is to scrape to just get into the playoffs now for this organization?
Yeah, I think you realize that you have to show up every night, because if you don't, you're going to lose games. So just being that consistent, being there year after year, being a competitor, and that you got to give a lot of credit to Ken Holland and the coaching staff, but the scouts as well, to find talent and find players to put a good, strong team together. But I think we had strong character in the room for a lot of years too, and we didn't have many players come and go. We had a good group, core group of guys that I think set the standard in this locker room with, you know, Draper, Maltby, McCarty, Joey Kosher came in for a while. Just strong character guys that really molded this team.
Does this mean more because you spent your whole career with the same franchise?
Yeah, it does, and that's another thing I didn't think was going to happen, being with the same team for all these years. So it makes it even more special that I've been a Red Wing my whole career, and I was able to finish as a Red Wing, and now I'm getting my jersey up there in the rafters as a Red Wing as well. So that means a lot to me.
Did you ever hear your name in trade rumors? Did you ever worry about that at all?
You were always worried about this day,
Right.
this trading deadline day, where you knew that, because you never know what can happen, what teams are looking for, and especially when it comes down to the wire. So you was always worried about, or you're thinking about it. But after a few years, I got that no trade clause, which really helped me come at ease a little bit more than before that.
Are there moments that you relive still?
Oh, there's a lot of moments that come to mind. Celebrations in this locker room after winning the first Stanley Cup. The room was a little bit different back then. It didn't look just like this, but the celebration in here was with all the family and friends, and it was being packed in here. Also strong memories. Same thing on the ice. Even the ones on the road. So you remember all the great times when you've been celebrating with the team. And I said it earlier, but the parades, when you get a chance to see the fans up close and see how happy the people of Detroit were to be able to celebrate the Stanley Cup with us, are still great memories.
Nick, you played with a lot of characters over your career here in Detroit. Are there any funny moments that come to mind that you'll always remember and never forget?
Yeah, there's a lot of them. I don't know if I should bring them up here today, but I can mention some of the characters. The funniest guy I probably played was Marc Bergevin, who's the GM of Montreal now. He was just a French-Canadian funny guy that always cracked jokes. Schomburg was another one that kind of kept the team loose. He was always cracking jokes. Even on the ice, he would start joking with the opponents and get under their skin that way. Kevin Hodgson, another player that kept everybody loose in here. Chris Osgood and Drapes, they had a wall back in the laundry room at, Ozzy's. He's cutting pictures together, finding photos and putting faces on different bodies that might not look the greatest, but so we had a lot of fun times in here too.
If you had a message for these young players, what would it be?
Really enjoy the moment, enjoy being in the NHL, enjoy being a Red Wing, and take it all in. Have fun with it. It's a lot of hard work. You gotta work hard and put your time in, but you have to enjoy it too, because doesn't last for a lifetime.
Did 20 years go by pretty fast?
It did. If you start breaking it down, it really, these 20 years went really fast.
Is Z calling you for advice?
I've talked to Z a few times, and I actually saw him here today. So I think he's watched me up close when I was captain or being part of this team. He was here when Stevie was captain too. So I think he's seen a lot of leadership in this room, not only from the captains but from other players as well that's been in the league for a long time. So I think just by being around players like that has helped Hank.
Are they going to make the playoffs?
I think so. I believe they'll make the playoffs.
Nick, you've always been able to hold it together during a lot of emotional times. What about tomorrow? I mean, do you feel like you can be able to hold it together?
I hope so. I know it's going to be emotional because I know it's going to be a lot of memories going through my mind, and especially with family and close friends being there, being able to watch the ceremony. I think it'll be a very emotional one, but something I'm looking forward to as well.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
All right.
Appreciate it.